Hare Krishna. Welcome devotees to the Gita Daily session. Thanks for joining the session. Today we are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita 1866. So let's start by taking blessings of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Maya Sudarshan, Lakshmi Narsimhadev, Gaurnitai Panchatattva. Let's pray that by their blessings we shall understand the transcendental topics of Bhagavad Gita. So let's recite the prayers together. Om Atnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll dedicate the session to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, by whose mercy we are able to understand the transcendental topics of Bhagavad Gita and also able to apply it in a practical way in our day-to-day life. So let's thank Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today we are discussing 1866. Let's recite the shloka together. Sarvadharman parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarvapabebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. Repetition. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarvapabebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Word meaning. Sarva dharman, all varieties of religion. Parityajya, abandoning. Mam, unto me. Ekam, only. Saranam, go surrender. Raja, go. Aham, I. Tvam, you. Sarva, all. Pabebhya, from sinful reactions. Moksha ishyami, will deliver. Ma, do not. Shucha, worry. So let's look at the translation again. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So let's see the shlokas. Today's shloka is one of the most important shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. So here actually, Lord actually is giving the final instruction to Arjuna. So we have seen that over the 700 shlokas, we have a couple of shlokas left actually, but in instruction wise, I think this is the kind of last instruction or the final instruction Krishna gives to Arjuna. So we have seen that how Arjuna initially become bewildered and he surrenders to the Lord. In the sense, he says that I want to become a disciple. So initially the talks was in the friendship level, and finally, Arjuna tells that I want to become your disciple, right? And then Krishna instructs the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna gives various instructions, like he explained about the soul. Then he talks about various paths, right? Talk about Varnashrama system. Then he talks about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, right? You explain various. Then he actually describes about opulence of the Lord, and finally he gives the most confidential knowledge, which is actually devotional service to the Lord. So here the final instruction in Krishna is giving in to Arjuna. So let's look at it into the more detail. So last we discussed the 1865 Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyajimam Namaskuru Mame Vaisya Satyam De Pradajane Priyosime. So the Lord says that when you become my devotee, right, I give you the promise. I promise you that you will come back to me. So, in this final chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord actually gives many assurance to Arjuna. So, first he told, that mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishari, right? So, if you become conscious of me, right, and depend on me, then you will pass through all the obstacles of your material life, right? So, this is one assurance the Lord gives. And then in the last shloka, we discussed, Lord gives assurance that, if you become my devotee, then I will promise you that you will come back to me. So in this current shloka also the Lord actually is giving assurance. So let's see the keywords. Sarvadharma and Pariteja, giving up all of dharma, varieties of dharma. So this means this is all encompassing. So dharma actually, dharma is means the natural quality of a substance. Right? So for a human being, that means what is his occupational duty or natural duty for the jiva. So Krishna is saying that you give up all varieties of dharma. Right? So and then what he's saying, Mam Ekam Sharanam Praja, and surrender to me alone. So the Ekam word is very important. So Krishna is not asking to surrender to somebody else, right? He is asking to say that finally you surrender only to me. So only to me. right? So then exclusive surrender actually the Lord is expecting. So because the Lord is not directly available to us, like in the case of Arjuna, he was fortunate. Krishna was present in before him. So for us, the Lord actually is available in the form of a guru or a spiritual master. The spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master, is not like we have so many cheating spiritual masters now, right? So we can see, so because of that, people are afraid. But then we have to identify a bona fide spiritual master who actually is a real representative of Krishna, and we can surrender to the guru, right? Which actually is same as surrendering to Krishna. So Krishna, that's why Krishna says, no, he says that tad vidhi pranipadayana pariprashnena sevaya ubadekshayandi detnanam taninam tattvadarshina. So Krishna is asking to surrender to a spiritual master. And by his own example, he has shown when Krishna appeared, he actually accepted Sandivini Muni as a spiritual master. So even the Lord was self-contained, self-sustained, and he's already, he's Sachidananda. Doesn't need any guru, but then he has taken a guru to show everybody that no, a guru is required. Then Krishna says, Aham tuam sarva pabebhyo mokshekshami. So what is the result of taking complete shelter of the Lord or the Guru? Krishna says that I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. So sinful reactions are one of the main obstacles for us to make progress. And Krishna finally says, Ma Shuja. No, this is so he is saying, this is the guarantee. He is saying that do not fear. I will take care. Right? So this way the Lord gives assurance. So let's move on. So, so when we talk about dharma, right? So what Lord is Acharyas explained, dharma means everything is included in that. So whether it is varnashrama, no, because so we have the varnashrama dharma, right? Whether you are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, we have seen that occupational duties, right? So they have different occupational duty, or the Vedic rituals, or the process of jnana, karma, ashtanga. So these are all the various processes Lord explained. Or it can be social dharma, right? Social responsibility, which means responsibility to the family, to society, nation, ethics, all these things. So everything is concluded. So everything which is everything which is related to the bodily platform, right? So the Lord actually is saying that give up all the other dharmas. So but our and real duty is on the soul platform, right? So which actually is to serve the Lord. So Krishna is asking us, Arjuna is telling Arjuna that no, you forget about all other instructions which you have given, right? So basically everybody cannot follow the instructions, right? What has been given, or those instructions will result in the gradual progress of the jiva, right? So if you want to take many lifetimes and become purified, there is always a risk, because we don't know what is the condition in the next life. So if you want to take that chance, then we can follow other instructions, like follow varnashrama the system. Maybe 100 births it takes to become purified, or no process of jnana karma. All other process takes very long time. So Krishna finally concludes, you don't worry about all those so many ritualistic or all other dharmas, right? So but then just take shelter of me. So a couple of shlokas which are relevant in this context. So what one Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.8 says, Dharma swanishtita pumsan vikshvaksena kadasuya notpaderi ratim shama evahi kevalam. What it says, the occupational activities of a man performs according to his own positions are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of personality God. So understand that all other processes are ultimately meant to come to the platform of developing Krishna, love of Godhead, right? So finally we have to come to this platform of surrender or depending on the Lord. So other processes are meant for only that. So if that doesn't lead to this, then they're all useless waste of time. No? And then how about the duty? Because everybody will have the natural question, how can I give up my duties? I have so many responsibilities. So we have to understand this in two different levels, right? So the complete dependence on the Lord cannot be artificially achieved. So we have to make gradual progress in our path. So we take up the path of bhakti, and by the process of purification, slowly, our attachment to material things will reduce, and we have to fulfill our material obligations and responsibilities. And when we completely when you have 100% faith in the Lord, right, and become really naturally detached, then only we can actually give up all other things. Otherwise, it is not possible, right? So the idea is not to artificially renounce the things, right? We have to make progress and develop a natural detachment, right? And then slowly, gradually, after fulfilling our responsibilities, we can take shelter of the Lord. But even if you give up artificially, and not artificially, if you give up actually, suppose if you develop attachment to the Lord faster, sometimes some people might have already done devotional activities in the previous life. For them, actually, it is very easy to give up the attachments, right? They can immediately take shelter of the Lord. But nevertheless, in any case, Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.41, we'll see what it says. So 11th chapter, 5th canto, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 41st verse. This says, Devarshi Budaptananam Pradhanam Na Kingaro Nayam Rinicharajan Sarvatmanaya Saranam Saranyam Gado Mugundam Parihartikartam. What it says, O king, one who has given up all material duties and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mugunta, who offers shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods, great sages, ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even one's forefathers who have passed away. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of Supreme Lord, one who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately. So, as I mentioned, so this has to be understood with little caution. So, this is the fact actually, but then everybody cannot come to that platform immediately, right? So, what this sloka says is that because the Lord is the ultimate protector of everything, all the jivas, right? So, including our so-called relatives, right? Our spouse, children. Actually, we think that we are the controller and we are the protector, but actually, the Lord is only protecting. And no, so the Lord is ultimate controller of everything. So, all these so-called ritualistic ceremonies, varnashrama dharma, these are all meant for the gradual purification of the jiva, right? But one who has taken shelter, complete shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, it is mentioned he doesn't have any other obligations, right? He is free from everything, right? So, and it is also mentioned when a person become a pure devotee of the Lord, right? It is mentioned that many generations of his ancestors are automatically delivered, right? So it depends, no? So it is mentioned in various scriptures, right? Narada Pancharatra, right? And Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, like in case of Prahlad Maharaj, when he was delivered, Narasimha tells that 21 generations before, no, they were liberated. See, ultimately, what is the ultimate benefit of the jiva is become free from cycle of birth and death, right? All the material things are temporary. So when one person becomes a pure devotee of the Lord, and let's say he will give up the family or give up his responsibilities, but he became a pure devotee, then so many generations of of his family are all liberated. So they attain the highest perfection. So from this perspective, we need to understand that this is the ultimate expectation, or this is the topmost level that one can achieve. But then we at the same time we cannot irresponsibly or prematurely be try to think that I'm detached and I'm giving up. So sometimes people give up responsibilities because of laziness, or because they don't want to take responsibilities. But then such premature renunciation without actually developing attachment to the Lord is condemned. It is mentioned that somebody thus gives up the responsibility artificially, he actually gets sinful reactions, and he may become a suitable candidate for hellish planets, right? So we cannot give up the responsibilities, because we, as a, let's say we are a husband, we have a responsibility to take care of the family, right? Children, wife, etc. Similarly, the wife has responsibility to serve the husband, take care of the children. So like that, everybody has various responsibilities, in the social setup. So these responsibilities we cannot artificially give up, right? So we have to continue in our path, but then include the Lord in our life, right? Depend on the Lord, start practicing surrender to the Lord, and slowly we become purified. And when we develop complete faith and attachment in the Lord, then automatically Lord makes the arrangement what is necessary. We don't have to artificially renounce, right? So this way, this has to be understood at two levels. So first is that because we are sadhakas and practitioners, we are still having so many attachments and responsibilities. So we should continue, we should gradually reduce the attachment to material things, increase the attachment to the service of the Lord, right? Continue the responsibilities which you are having, and practice devotional service. By this process, slowly, the Lord mentioned earlier, right? He gives intelligence, right? Buddhi yogam dadami, he gives intelligence to us automatically how to proceed. So the warning is that do not artificially give up attachments, right? So basically, detachment from material things and attachment to the Lord, these are two things which happen simultaneously. So slowly we have to increase attachment to the Lord, and when the attachment becomes very strong, right, then automatically our detachment will happen. So these are some of the important points. And Krishna says explicitly says that Mamekam. No, so it is not that take shelter of some other god, right? We have to take shelter of Supreme Lord, right? He is actually Krishna, and Vishnu is the only person who can give about liberation. So the Lord actually has to be, the Supreme Lord has to be taken care, and Krishna says that we can get the highest perfection. So we have earlier seen, quickly we'll recap the aspects of surrender. So we have seen this shloka: Anukulesa Sankalpa, Pratikulesa Varjanam, Rakshishyati Vishwaso, Goptrute Varnam Tata, Atma Nikshepa Karpane, Shadvida Sharanagati. So there are six aspects of complete surrender. What are they? The first is accepting things which are favorable to bhakti, right? Then rejecting things which are unfavorable. So these are two important aspects. Then Rakshishyata Vishwaso. One should have complete faith that the Lord will protect. So this is the faith like the small child has on the father or mother, right? So like one example is given is that when a family is crossing the road, if there is a small child, right, the child just hold to the father's hand or mother's hand, right? He doesn't really worry whether vehicle is coming from left or right. No, he just have 100% faith in the father. and father actually protects the child and he ensures that the child is safe. So this way the child doesn't is completely depending on the father. So similarly, we need to fully start developing that complete faith in the Lord, that Lord will protect me in all circumstances, and the Lord's protection may not be the way which we like, right? So no, it may not be the way we like actually, but then Lord knows what is right. So this way we have to have complete faith and protection of the Lord. Then dependence on the Lord. Goptrute Varana means understand that Lord actually is the ultimate well-wisher. All other well-wishers are temporary well-wishers and they cannot be 100% trusted. Today they may be your well-wisher. Tomorrow we don't know whether they are well-wishers. The ultimate well-wisher is the Lord, who actually is as Paramatma in everybody's heart, who understands our desire. So we need to fully depend on the Lord, right? And then understand that He is ultimate well-wisher. Then Atma Nikshepa means complete surrender of the Lord. So complete surrender means by all, like by mind, right? So manasa vaja karmana, no? Kayena vaja. So basically by body, mind, words, action. So by every aspect, we should actually be surrendered. The mood of surrender should be there, depending on the Lord for everything. And finally, the last quality which is mentioned, last but not the least, is humility. So that is karpanya, right? So unless and until we have the humility, we cannot surrender, right? So the humility is one of the indication of surrender, right? So this way, these six aspects of surrender is mentioned. So when somebody thus surrenders, right, then the Lord will completely take care of the devotee and is free from the past sinful reaction. So we have seen that, no, ye ramam prabadyante tam sadeva bhajamyam. To the extent we are surrendered, to that extent Lord actually reciprocates. So when one who is a pure devotee of the Lord, he will have all these six aspects of surrender. And for such a devotee, the Lord will completely, take care of him. He supplies what he lacks and he carries what he have. That we have seen. Yoga Kshema Mahamyam. So, so what is the primary aspect of surrender is to give up the humility, means giving up the lordship mentality. So currently the jiva, when he's embodied, he thinks that I am the proprietor of everything, right? I am this body. He identifies with the body, which is the false identity, and not naturally all the associated identities, right, or the relationships that we have, like the family, the society, the country, right? All these things develop from the concept of I am the body, and then he always think that I am the lord of everything which I survive, right? So as long as we have this false identity, surrender is not possible. So when we understand really that we are helpless, right? So the surrender actually starts when we understand this futility of the material nature, right? When we understand that we are helpless in this material world, when we understand this Maya is very powerful, right? Because Maya is an external energy. uh, Mama Maya Duratya, Devi Aisha Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratya. Krishna says that this Maya is unsurmountable. So when we finally really understand our position, that we are very helpless, and Mameve Prabandante Maya Meda, Krishna says only if we take shelter of the Lord, who is the controller of Maya, we can get over. So we should naturally understand by intelligence that our situation is really helpless. The jiva is really trapped in this material body in a very helpless condition, right? And under the influence of material modes, right? So we need to really understand this, recognize this condition, right? And then when we really understand that situation, then naturally we become humble, and then we understand that we are really helpless, and only the Lord can help us, right? So this way, the natural humility and the natural surrender has to be developed, right? And finally, what is assurance? Krishna, so because normally everybody is hesitant to surrender because no, the nature of why we come to the material world is because we want to load over, right? We want to control everything, and this is opposite to the surrender mentality. So we always hesitate to surrender, right? So there is also an hesitation to surrender because we may think that we are sinful. I have so much of bad qualities. How will Krishna accept me? So to drive away all these doubts, Krishna says, "Do not fear, right? I will take care. I will free you from all sinful reaction, and do not fear." So we may fear that if I surrender, what will happen, right? I will lose everything. No, who will take care of me? So Krishna said, don't fear, because I am the supreme father. I am the source of everything. I am the most opulent, the most rich. No, he has everything. Krishna is the source of everything. Why should we fear? No, when we have such a father. So this way, the Lord is assuring, do not fear at all, right? So what Srila Prabhupada finally says, in other words, devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is the most confidential part of the knowledge, and this is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. So this is the final instruction Krishna gives. Okay, so today I think we are already late, so we don't have time to go through the related shlokas. So we quickly look at the example of Mrigari, right? So the hunter Mrigari, I'm not sure whether we discussed it. So how Mrigari takes shelter of the Lord. So this story comes in Padma Purana. were actually Narad Muni. Once he was going through the Prayag, right, Allahabad, so near the confluence of Ganga. So but actually, when he sees, when he goes to the forest, he sees a hunter who actually is very cruel. He is when on his way he will see many animals which are half killed. They are actually struggling, because they are pierced with the arrow and they are struggling. So Mruga Hari means no enemy of animals. So this hunter was very cruel, and when Narad Muni saw the plight of this animal, he became very compassionate, right? And finally, when he sees the hunter, he actually asked the hunter, "Why are you actually doing this? Why don't you kill the animal completely? Why are you half killing them?" Then the hunter Mrigari says that, and the Narada Muni says that you will have to suffer very sinful, very strong reactions for what you are doing. He told that every animal that you make suffer like this, you are killing, they all will take another birth in another life. They will get an opportunity to kill you like the same way. So this is one thing we need to understand. Whatever sinful reactions we do, whatever activities we do, it will be repaid. In maybe in after many lifetimes, it is possible. So that is why the meat eating is very much condemned. So when you kill the animals, because they are also jivas who are like us, only because of the karma they are in that animal body. And when we kill the animal, these animals will get an opportunity to kill us later in another life. So this is Narada Muni. When this Mragari hear this, he becomes very fearful. And Mragari says that this is what can I do? This is my occupation, and this is how my father taught me. His father also used to kill the animals halfway, and I get a lot of happiness by seeing the animals struggling. So this way, Mragari actually explained to Narada Muni. And Narada Muni, now Mragari, after understanding the sinful reactions, he become very fearful. And he asked Narada Muni, is there a way I can get out of this sinful reaction? So then Mragari actually takes shelter from Narada Muni. So we have to understand, so Narada Muni here should be considered as a representative of Lord, right? Lord actually, as Paramatma understands, I felt mercy, or no, or Narada Muni took mercy on Mrigari, and the Lord actually, because the pure devotee is willing that this person has to be delivered, Lord actually also supports Narada Muni. So Narada Muni is a representative of Krishna right here, and Mrigari takes shelter of the Lord through Narada Muni. So this way, Mrigari takes full shelter of Narada Muni, and Narada Muni tells. So then Mrigari asks, "How will I sustain my family? Right? I have a wife. So how will we live if I stop my occupation?" So Narada Muni asks, "You give up this occupation." This dharma you have to give up, and no, and he assures Narad Muni assures that you don't worry, the Lord actually taking care of all the jivas, he will take care of you also, do not worry, right? So after hearing this, Mragari become a disciple of Narad Muni, and Mragari will break his bow, and Narad Muni asked him to make a small hut on the bank of Ganges and live there, and do not worry about the food. So what happens when Mragari becomes a saint like this? All the villagers, they come to know about his transformation, and everybody starts bringing different food items for him. So this way, by Lord's arrangement, Mragari's need of sustenance is taken care, right? So this way, Mragari actually becomes a pure devotee. So here, what we see is that Mragari takes shelter of Narad Muni, or indirectly he takes shelter of Krishna, right, and fully surrenders because he gives up his occupation, right, occupational duty. So Sarva Dharman Pariteja, Mamekam Saranam Braja, right, and the Lord actually frees him from all the sinful reaction. Am Tam Sarva Papepyo. He becomes completely purified and he becomes very pure, right? He becomes free from all the sinful reactions. And after many years, Narad Muni, visits this his disciple again, along with Parvata Muni. And when Mragari sees Narad Muni from a distance, right, actually he becomes overjoyed and he starts running towards Narad Muni. But he runs in a haphazard way. And finally, when he pays obeisances, he actually looks at the ground, and then he cleans the ground and pay obeisances. So Narad Muni was asking, what are you doing? I don't understand. Why are you running haphazardly? And why are you cleaning the ground? So then Mragari tells that, no, there are so many ants which are there on the path. Right? I don't want to hurt them. So he actually is, he's taking care that he doesn't step on the ants. And finally, when he pays obeisance also, he don't want to lie down on the ants because they may get killed. So this way, Narad Muni takes complete shelter, and then is completely transferred. So the person who was completely cruel, was half killing the animals, he became so much transformed that he doesn't even want to kill the ants. So this is the transformation of Narad Muni. But then we can see many examples on a day-to-day life. And even Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya, he actually was a grihastha, right? And his spiritual master gave the instruction that he should preach this knowledge in the Western countries. So he gave up his family life. He became sannyasi, and single-handedly he went to the US without any money or anybody to support. Right? Prabhupada says that when he got out of the ship in the Boston, he did not know whether he should go to the left or right. He did not know anybody, and the country was fully filled with materialistic people. So he had complete surrender to the Lord and full dependence. And it is a miracle that all these people who are so much sinful hippies, they become pure devotees of the Lord, right? And he could establish 108 temples all over the world. So this is a great miracle. Only by the complete dependence on Krishna, actually, Prabhupada could achieve this great. So what is the essential takeaway? First of all, we should have trust and faith in Krishna. He is giving the promise that he'll free from sinful reaction. He'll take care of us. So we should have faith in the Lord's promise. Then stop committing further sinful activities, because sinful activities actually keep us away from the Lord. So we should stop sinful activities and take shelter, and then have the assurance that the Lord will free us from the reactions, and understand that finally, today or someday we need to come to the state of complete surrender and dependence on the Lord. Without that, actually, we cannot enter the Lord's abode. So it is not an immediate target. It is not that tomorrow I give up everything, but then we understand this is the final destination or final level of status that we need to achieve, right? The complete surrender. So this is our goal. So this has to be kept in mind, and have be practical, right, and also reasonable, and according to our capacity we should actually start practicing the surrender. Not that artificially try to do something which is unsustainable. Do something for a few days and after that you completely give up everything. Rather than that, make slow progress. What is possible, slowly we make progress. And understand that the main block or a stumbling block for surrender is our false ego, and thinking that I am the proprietor and the controller. So we should naturally understand our position as helpless, right, and depend on the Lord. So, and we have to search out for a bona fide spiritual master, because the Lord actually is not available directly. Right? We cannot try to manipulate or no try to believe or act as that I am surrendered. So we need to practically surrender by taking shelter of a spiritual master, by and also render services. Develop humility by performing different services. And practice dependence on the Lord. Start practicing depending on the Lord, and with patience. We need patience. It is not that I start depending and immediately everything change. There is a miracle not happen. So we need to have patience that it will take time. Start depending on the Lord for for everything. Slowly, one by one, slowly we depend on the Lord. So what is the result of depending on the Lord is we become free from anxiety. So this is the essential point. So this sloka is the final instruction of the Lord. So all other things which is Lord has told, if you are not able to do, and if you want to make fast progress, right, then actually we should take shelter of the Lord. That is essential teaching. Okay, so with that, I think we conclude today's session. So we'll chant Hare Krishna mantra thrice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, any devotees have any questions now? Okay, so we'll end here and we'll meet again tomorrow. So, next week, I think, no, once the main sessions are over, I think we will have dedicated sessions for doubt clearing. So, if you have questions, you can note down and we can discuss that. Okay, so I would like to end here, and thanks all devotees for joining. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.